Okay, how is it going, chat? Right, so basic premise of this is grid content space is pretty sparse and we need some fun stuff in here. People keep coming to the SDK tier list. That's all we hear about, push the SDK list. Where's the FTSE list? Well, where's the FTSE list, you say? Well, here I am with the primo tier list for Battle for the Grid. All 100% facts, all 100% true. We'll see how this goes. So for real though, I just thought it'd be nice to get some just more discussion on the tier list and what have you. So let's waste no time. Get into it. Let's rank some characters. You know, that sort of spicy Twitter tier content you're all looking for. I'm going to start off with a man himself, Mr. Adam Park. Now, this guy, S tier, obviously. This guy's wild. I don't think there's much you can say that hasn't been said about Adam already, but currently he has crazy damage, like ridiculous damage. Like his super loops do a ton. So he kills with only hit. That's expectable. That's what you think. He's got this ridiculous neutral skip in 4SH that you can just set up all sorts of dirt with assists. Invalidates any sort of setup strategy where you want to stay back and set up anything, which is basically my entire play style. I want to set up a full screen of Zed, and Adam doesn't let me do that, so I hate him. So he's in D tier. In reality, he's probably one of the best, if not the best, characters in the game at the moment. Yeah, ridiculous character. So good damage, crazy mix. So his mix on block is really strong. He's got a lot of push block save strings that lead into either a high or a low, so you can 50-50 on a lot of different points in the game. So yeah, I think he's just generally a really strong character. Gets even more exponentially strong with assists thanks to his just as strong as neutral skips are. So you can just set up, he sets up sandwiches for free, which is always really good. Yeah, he can act out of assists and get an overhead. That's pretty good. It's not as like applicable as something like Dog, but the character himself just sets up so many crazy things. He's got really good zoning as well. Like his projectile is surprisingly strong, so he has this insane mix-up off of zoning that he can do as well. So he just has all these crazy in-your-face rewards and doesn't really have that many downsides. But yeah, Adam definitely, I'd say S tier. I think most people would agree he's easily top 3. Next up, we've got Blue, Cinezoic Blue. Now, I love Blue. Blue's a fun. I think everybody loves to see Blue in tournament. He's such a cool character to see his combos go off, to see his game plan actually working. Yeah, rip the shirt, exactly. Thank you, Rocket Punch. Rip the shirt. Blue is absolutely hype as a character, but he lacks in a lot of ways. Like, he feels very much like an early character, which he is. He was like the first wave of new characters that was released, I think, with their free batch. That was Trini, Udonna, Blue, and he definitely feels that. He definitely feels like he's missing some source. So he's got damage. He's got really cool damaging combos, but he needs to be in a corner to do his like damaging stuff. A lot of the stuff is quite corner dependent. He's got a cool neutral skip, but his super doesn't always work correctly, and his buttons do feel pretty stubby. Yeah, his zoning is really good. Maybe not really good. It's good when you have like the ability to you have the ability to it's good when you have the ability to like throw out a bit of meter, I guess. So meter plus a bunch of zoning can be pretty good at Blue, because all of the stuff like covers a bunch of the screen. If you're not expecting it, he'll snipe you essentially, and go into super into a full like damaging combo. But yeah, there's a lot to kind of work on with Blue. I think he doesn't have a huge amount of like great mix. He has his teleport to mix up, but without an assist, that's really readable and gets you punished a lot of the time if your opponent is looking out for it. So he's got like a decent all-round kit. His assist is really good. His assist is fantastic, but like I think he's like solidly mid. So he's solidly, I think, B tier. He's like definitely not A tier. He's definitely like at the top of the pack. or anything. He's, I think, very salty. Like, he's an okay character. Yeah, Chun. Chun is currently, in my opinion, the best character in the game. Chun, like, obviously has all the crazy overhead pressure, and currently she has a glitch that makes her just a little bit above the other best characters. But Chun hasn't really changed a huge amount since, yeah, EX into Zord evasion. So the ability, she has the ability to cancel EX into Zord on block. If we count that, then she's like clearly like the strongest character, because that lets her set up unblockables on block, I believe, because she EXs into Zord into some crazy things. But yeah, so with the glitch, she's top 1 easily. Probably still top 3 otherwise, because Chun is crazy. She's got ridiculous movement, really good zoning. Yeah, her mix-up pressure is obviously about as strong as Adam's, just in terms of the high-low game she has. Air-H is ridiculously. Yeah, we're gonna get to the meme recap. I mean, I actually know she got nerfed last patch, so like maybe it's D tier. No, like I want to put Adam in like horrible tier because I hate him, but he is good. Chun does have, like, Chun really does have everything. I think I'm not like sold on her assist. I think it's a good assist, but it doesn't, like, it's lockdown, but not as good as something like Cat Lockdown or Rhea Lockdown, I don't think. Like, I think that's maybe the only thing I think where she's slightly mid on is assist. But everything else is just ridiculous with Chun. Everything else is just really, really good. So I think there's not much of an argument there. There's not much of an argument on it, so yeah. I'm not sure if it can be push blocked. Let's check, let's see. It's probably going to be easy to set up, but shouldn't be too hard to see. Where's Chun of this? There she is. I did that on the wrong. Let's just set the AI to push block and we'll see. That was the wrong one. So just do assist. Yeah, so it can be push blocked out. So it's, yeah, it's okay. But that's just the assist, and like everything else Chun offers is great. She's got amazing like tag out pressure into zoning. Yeah, amazing everything really. Chun is incredibly good. So yeah, S tier. Dai, my boy, my poor boy Dai. Oh yeah, she's got a really small hurtbox as well, which is kind of like awkward for some characters, so that helps, I guess. But yeah, my boy Dai. Oh, my boy. I love Dai, but my opinion on him has flipped so dramatically, like in the last like month or so. He's just. For a while I was kind of coping and saying actually he does a really good damage engine with his infinite. He's got like a lot of good options. He's like maybe like bottom of A tier, maybe high B tier, but he's C tier. Dai is a character that feels like he should be good. Dai's a character that feels like he should be good, but Dai just does a lot of things that newer characters do, but really badly, if that makes sense. What was that, Kev? Of all the shitty characters, Blue is the best shitty character. Yeah, Blue's like a great all-rounder, but doesn't excel at anything, I guess. But yeah, Dai conceptually feels like he's got a ton of stuff. Let me just boot up this with him. Because Dai's got like the neutral skip, he's got assist that crosses up, he's got like a bunch of things that are kind of cool. So let's see. So we've got this, which should theoretically allow some overhead stuff. You cross up things. Got this, which is a neutral skip and gets to the other side. But like Chun does this, but better. Adam does this, but better. Dai just struggles a lot. He doesn't have anything to do in neutral. really slow orb to put out, a really slow jump as well. So there's not a huge amount of things that Dai can do that other characters can't do, and his character really struggles in neutral. Yeah, so Walkling loses to basically anything. That's right, Cav. Walkling doesn't do a lot. Doesn't do a lot at all. Yeah, he's got fun things. Dai's got kind of cool things, which is why I kind of coped on Dai for a long time. But he's just like really bad. I'm not like his damage is good. Like he can get good damage. He can get unblockables. Yeah, I mean he can get fun stuff, but just playing him now just really feels bad. Essentially at the moment. He doesn't do a lot of neutral. He's completely outclassed by any DLC, just in terms of like the things he wants to be doing. Draken does better neutral skips than him, for example. So yeah, there's a lot of potential untapped, but like even if you do like the optimal Dai stuff in the current game, it just doesn't work as well as you'd like to. He doesn't do much. Next patch, hoping for something better. He's got some buffs coming along, so maybe we'll see him rise up. But currently, he's just not there. Much as I love the character, like I love this character, he's one of my favorites in the game. But he's just, yeah, he's not. It's not it. It's not it. Much as I love it, love you Dai, but no. And next we have the best character in the game. Okay, yes, top character, Trini. Top character in the game. Clip a thumbnail. This is all we need. Trini, best character. She's got more health than anybody in the game. Super good character. Like her assist locks you down as well, way better than Chun's. Chun's a lockdown assist and push block, but Trini's is just like catch you all the time, so much better. Like Chun is so bad compared to Trini. Like Trini is like the best character in the game. No cap. All right, we got the screenshot. Okay, good. We all know we don't need to make much about Trini. We don't need to make any bones about the character. She is. I'm sorry, Obi. I am sorry, Teresa. But this is not it. Trini is a very sad character in the game. Trini is incredibly slow. Her combos are unintuitive to begin with. Her buttons don't work. Like she doesn't have a magic series, so her lights don't chain into her mediums don't chain into her heavies and what have you. So like it feels really weird playing her and then playing another character. And she just moves badly. She gets bullied because she's a big body, and people get easy overheads on her and easy infinites on her as well. Like we've all seen the Vegeta infinite on Trini. It's a great meme. But yeah, not great. She got nerfed a while back. Her assist got worse. And she's just like, back in the day, her assist was good. We get no Zord counters. But now, again, she just gets outclassed with more characters that get added to the game. Oh yeah, hold up. That's a good point, Rocket. Good point. Let me just get the proper thumbnail. Hold up. No, let me quickly just add a bunch of characters into like the ranking, so we can do a proper quick clickbait thumbnail for the rest of the community. Hold up. So what would be the fun thing to do? Okay, what would be the fun thing to do here? Okay, so we want Trini and S tier. Hold up, adverts. You did not hear that. That's fine. We'll cut that. But let's think. How are we going to do this? How are we going to do this, chat? How are we going to make this as memey as possible? We're going to get maximum clicks on this. Obviously, Adam bottom tier. Adam is a terrible character. People hate him. Let's not just reverse it. Obviously, I'm going to put Zed in S tier because Zed is amazing. And I love Dai. So Dai's an A tier. We don't want to cap too hard. Like, we want to make it believable, right? So Dai's an A tier. Who else is a terrible character? Trey. I want to put Trey like on Dai tier. Definitely mid Goldar. Goldar's last tier. Goldar's mid. I think Slayer is a solid A tier. Slayer is a solid A tier. Yeah, Doggy's like incredibly technical, so Doggy is an S tier. He's definitely not a low mid. And RJ is obviously in S tier. RJ's broken. We all remember when RJ was released. He's not changed at all. But yeah, let me think. Yeah, Poisandra. Who's this character? That's like a terrible character. Nobody's heard of her. Nobody cares about her. Definitely not a crazy character. Chun-Li's from Street Fighter, so she's easier for Chun. Cat, I hate Cat, but Cat loses to Zed, so she's a terrible character. She's like straight up dies, like at Grimbacore in chat. Thanks, Grimbacore. Grimbacore, like Cat sucks. Stop playing her. Valkyrian plays Udonna, so Udonna is an S tier, obviously. And I think, let me think. Yeah, Blue. I'm gonna keep Blue and B tier. Kind of keep this like believable. Blue's like mid, so Blue's the best of B tier because he's blue. Let's again. What else should we do? Sentry. He lost his knees. He's in D tier. Like actually put him C tier. Lost his knees. He can still shoot, but he's an old man. I mean, who plays Jen? Like I've never seen a Jen in EU. Jen's obviously D tier. I've never seen anybody play her. Never seen anybody play her. Eric can go to like Eric can go to B tier. Like he's gold. Like Eric and Goldar. That's kind of a thing, right? Gia. I mean, Grim plays her, so probably D tier. But you know what? Gia's okay. Gia's okay. She can stand up to Trini, and Trini's the best character in the game actually. So Gia's like just below Trini. I think that makes sense. Like Gia's the only like counter pick possible to Trini in this game. No, but like if you need to counterpick her, Cav, I'm sorry, but you need to counterpick. Red's beginner character is so easy to play. A crazy character, obviously in S tier. Let me think. Draken, edgy Tommy spin-off. Let's put Tommy in S for Uchi and Mega Isaac. Let's blow Zed. I got Lauren. Who's like Lauren, weird samurai ranger, who cares? B tier, mid, who cares? Magna, big guy, A tier. I think it's too much in the S tier. Let's make this a bit more. No, hold up. Actually, I've got a better idea for thumbnail. Hold up. Add right above. We need to have yeah. SS, and then SS plus. Hold up, yeah. Let me just do this. Okay, add right above. Yeah, that makes sense, Cav. Yeah, let's do it that way. And then let's just do SSS plus. Excellent. This is what we want. We're just making the thumbnails now. So let's put Trini in SSS plus and Gia in SS because she like contests her. And let's put like Zed there as well. Yeah, these can stay in S. I can kind of keep it like this. Let's move, let's just have a couple of people in D because they all suck. So Chen can be in B tier. Let's move these guys up. You know what? Who's the best meme to put with Trini and SSS plus? I think. Yeah. Let's miss. Who do we want to miss for memes? Let's miss out Ryu. Ryu doesn't. We don't know Ryu, right? Let's put like V's in A tier. You know what, Lauren can move up one because A tier is everyone now. Val plays Udonna, so S. And then let's leave Draken in here and move Sentry up one. I think that's it. There's the thumbnail. Let me just make that. We got it, chat? We got it? Excellent. Okay. We all good? Excellent. All right. This is what we wanted to see. Okay, let's delete these. All right, where were we at? Okay, let's go back to real. What were we up to? And you'd be. You were in C. You're in S. You're in S. And then we're doing Trini and D, because Trini, like, again, sorry OB, sorry Teresa, Trini just doesn't work. Again, gets infinite, gets bullied. The health is actually sometimes a detriment to the character, because she actually sometimes reduces how much Zord you get per character if you don't start with her point. So if you're playing her on Anchor, you lose a character and you don't have full Zord, because she takes up the health ratio, which isn't great. I think that's all the ones we did before, so let's move on. Rita, like, is a character that I think out of a season 4 cast, she's probably the most flawed, if that makes sense. She has a harder time navigating neutral than some characters. She loses out to zoning a bit harder than some season 4 characters, but she's still really good. Like, she has a lot of really scary option selection and playing pressure up close. Got a great value for tag outs and just like burning time with float. Any character with float is always going to have some fun options, and Rita definitely has some of those. And she's got a fantastic assist for like different purposes. You can set up a bunch of stuff on like incoming and what have you. That's pretty cool. So value, I think she's solidly A tier. Definitely not like game warping like Adam is, but yeah, we'll see with that. Yeah. What next? Scorpina. Also A tier solidly, I think. Scorpina's again solid. They both got similar assists. Scorpina's, well, both of them didn't even mention Rita's damage. Rita's damage is pretty busted. She can kill from basically anything, which is kind of fun. But yeah, Rita's great. Scorpina, I think, is also solidly A. I don't think anyone's really going to contest that. She's got fantastic support value. Yes, do it, Rocket. Do it, Rocket. She's got fantastic support value. Nox Mine is great. Like, she has like actually the anti-Zord route as well if she like does double poison stuff. So I think like Scorpina's really cool. I mean, we've seen Rocket play her a bunch in the EU. Definitely value her highly, a lot because of that. But I think in general, like, Scorpina is a solid character, solidly A. She would have an S in a world where she still had her incoming on block, but I think right now, solidly A tier. I'm happy to put her there. Not sure whether to put her higher than Rita. I think Rita navigates neutral a little bit better. Yeah, we're not including meme boots unless we're talking about Zed Rocket. But I think I probably value Rita a little bit more highly, but they're both like functionally very similar characters in a lot of ways. They both got weird sort of air stuff. But from playing Rita, I'd probably say, like, I think her pulling pressure is just a little bit better, and I think that edges it out. I think her super is a bit better, just better in neutral, just for catching things out. Scorpina's fun though, and I think we've seen like that she can do a lot, so that's always fun. Yeah, put Scorpina in A. All right, next up we've got Lauren. I think again another solid A tier. Again, probably put her a little bit above Scorpina. I don't know. Grimm's been a little bit down on Lauren, and I kind of see where. If we're including EX Boombot, then yes. If we're including EX into the conversation, Boombot, then yes, because EX into Zord is busted. If we're not, then it's for up to debate. I think Adam is probably a little bit better, but I think again it's still up for debate. But for this patch, I'm putting Zord Tron above it just because she has access to EX to Zord on block. Right, let me think. What were we on? Lauren. Yeah, Lauren, I think, again, another really solid A tier character. The only, like, issue, like, for the the only two issues with Lauren is A, she doesn't do as much damage, and B, she doesn't really have an easy OTG pickup. That's something that Grimm was talking about a lot when he was talking about the character, is that, like, she doesn't convert off with an OTG very easily because she doesn't have very many moves that OTG quickly. It's a similar. Dia's a very similar issue where you just can't pick up with OTGs because it takes forever. So that actually like puts it down a little bit. So like hits from Lauren aren't always that scary. That being said, Lauren has like ridiculous movement. Her run is crazy fast. Her air mobility is really manipulatable. It's very much like playing an anime fighter when you're playing Lauren, where she can just alter the trajectory of her jumps with a double jump, and that means a lot. You can bait out things really quickly. She has ridiculous air buttons. Like JL is this ridiculous pogo stick, but is this long-lasting overhead, leads to really easy unblockable situations and unblockable setups and incoming as well. But yeah, I think Lauren's kind of crazy, but there are like the couple of things that are holding her back is that her OTG doesn't really work that well in a team context. Like a lot of the time you'll see like Lauren, like Grimm just like snap of Lauren just to get some sort of advantage off the tag end. But she's got a crazy good assist, crazy good normal. Her EX is stupid. Little miss, she needs cross up EX to function. I mean, yeah, it's kind of wild. Again, still the A tier. Again, not sure exactly where in E tier I put her. It's going to be... I'm going to try and order this a decent bit. But Lauren is still pretty crazy, I think, solidly an A. Okay, let me think. What have we got next? We've got Jen! Ha ha ha! Yeah, easily top 3. Arguably, like the argument is there for, like, Jen to be one of the best characters to ever have existed in Grid because of just how consistently Jen has been in the top. Jen is the greatest, like, support character in the game. I'd almost even argue she's more... I would almost argue that Jen is the best character in the game. And my reasoning for it is that she fits into any team so easily. Jen has ridiculous support value. It's got ridiculous pressure. Like Gen Assist is always good. There's no character in the game who doesn't want Gen Assist. Whereas Adam Chun assists are okay, but they're not like on the level of Gen Assist. And then Jen obviously has easy damage with the Infinite. That she with Infinite, which is ridiculously easy. And again, her mix is potentially scarier than Adam Chun. Like, maybe not like an in-your-face block stun kind of way, but if you're on a reset and you have to run into reset Jen, then I think it's scarier than Adam Chun, because she can always go full way. And then uncross up as well. She can cross up and then uncross up with a teleport as well, if she wants to. So honestly, I'm not sure about placing, but I might I'm tempted just to put her like top, but Chun's good right now. And I might just put her top 2 at the moment. I think Adam is overall more busted, but Jen is more ubiquitous and just generally more of a good decision every single time to learn. Now that being said, I'm not playing her, but I'd probably put Jen really up there. Yeah. So that's where I'd put Jen. Again, no reason to think, well, she's crazy. She sets up sandwiches so crazy easily with her assist. EU has luck. Like, nobody in Europe plays Jen, and I've never understood this because she is so good. Nobody plays her. There's been like maybe 2 Gens that have played her consistently, and it's wild to me. It is frankly wild to me. Anyone who picks up Jen in Europe would make a killing from exploiting our lack of practice. An absolute killing. Alright, next we've got Slayer, and I don't think Slayer is very good. Like, she's got theoretically very nice zoning options with Blink Arrows. So, I'll just load up the game. Sec. Like, Jen has theoretically some really nice stuff. I need to like turn off ads on this. I'm very bad on this background music stuff. But let me find Jen. No, not Jen. Slayer here really quickly. See if I can remember how to do Blink Arrows. The Jen, like Slayer, like this is good, right? Like, that's really good, like, in terms of, like, looking down. But the thing about Jen is that she doesn't get any reward. You'll notice she doesn't do any chip damage for this. So there's no, like, and there's no sort of actual pressure with killing with it. At all. But at the same time, she just doesn't, like... Yeah, you don't do any damage, and you get the opponent gets zorbed, and then you get beaten. Is what happens to Slayer right now. She doesn't have, like, her zoning isn't scary, and realistically, she just doesn't get a lot of reward out of what she wants to do, which is a shame because again, she's a cool character. Like, I think Blink Arrow is kind of cool. I think generally I like zoning characters, but she doesn't do a huge amount of damage. So when she gets in, it's not that scary, and or when the opponent messes up and you get a hit, it's not that scary. Her zoning does nothing functionally. And she just struggles. She's got a very nice assist. She can play nice with other characters. But again, it's another case of like the game not really rewarding what she wants to do at the moment. Like, it just doesn't really necessarily, like, from everything I've seen, like, I hate playing against Slayer personally because I play Zed, and I think the Zed matchup against Slayer matchup is very annoying. But yeah, Slayer's again just not really a character that I think works very well at the moment. Contrary to that, we've got the other zoner in the game, Sentry, and I think Sentry is really good. I think Sentry is solid. Like, he's really solidly A tier. Sentry assist is really good as a solid assist, as a solid zoning assist, helps do pressure. Sentry zoning is great. He gets a hit, goes into meter. He's a little bit meter dependent, but you just don't run on point. He's got good tag outs with his 5SSS. Good pressure with his overheads, decent pressure with his overhead. But yeah, Sentry's great. I think Sentry is like always going to be a solid character. He's not as like he's not as oppressive as he used to be because his dash got taken away from him. But he's still, I think, a really just like he's like a good pick on like as like an anchor or like a mid because his assist is so versatile. A lot of characters can use to get in. I think Sentry is really solid, personally. He can play his own game. Yeah, I think solidly A tier. He can like straight up and validate a lot of characters as well just by zoning correctly, which is always really important. And his zoning does chip damage and it does conversions and it has a point. Like if you get hit by Sentry, it's like the reason blue zoning is decent is because if you get a hit with 2 bars while zoning, you can convert. But Slayer just doesn't have that. It doesn't have any way to make her zoning threatening, whereas Sentry does, which is always really good. So yeah, Sentry I think very solidly high A tier. Goldar, I think like there's an argument for like where Goldar used to be like S tier. I think maybe he's like high A tier now. I think he's gotten a little bit outvalued by some characters. A couple of the characters challenge him a lot more effectively now. Like Rita's pretty good against him. JM challenges him in the air. I don't think any of the top tiers really lose to him. But Goldar's still going to be kind of a wild character. He's got a crazy assist. Like he's never going to be not like good, right? Like he's always going to be a solid character. Yeah, anti-airs aren't great, and that's the reason that Goldar can get away with a lot of nonsense. He also has some of the best frame data in the game, and that actually does count for a decent amount, even though people don't often think so. Like he can just press buttons on you, and his character can do that pretty effectively. So Goldar's always going to be evergreen. He's got a fantastic assist as well. He's got an armored charge, which completely changes up how people have to deal with him. So I think he's always going to be like really high A tier. He's pretty insane. But yeah, I mean you never really know where things are going to be. But he's sick. Yeah. Where are we going to be next? Yeah, but Goldar and Jack Goldar is a silly character and we love him for it. Eric is a character that's really strong. I think he's like breaking edge of S tier. He's like breaking the edge of it. I think he's still like he's not on the level of like the characters I put in S tier. Like he's like a very solid, really strong character with a ton of great options. But he's like ridiculously good. He's the like de facto killing machine in Grid. Like he always kills if he gets a hit if you're doing the right combos. If you got the right routing with Eric, Eric just always kills. He can do that off gunshots as well if he has a super available. So his gunshots are scary if you can get the meter for it. And his zoning is just generally quite well done. He's got the decent air to air, right? He's got he's got Airblade, which is air unblockable, so you can just like challenge people in the air like nobody's business if you can catch them, which is always really good. So he's got a lot of strong incoming options. His assist is alright. I'm not sure it's like the best thing in the world. It's a blast at wall bounces, which is great for some conversions. Like you see Karim using the conversions off that very well and very effectively in the EU. But you know, we'll see how that goes. But he's just a strong character. He's really good. Outzones lots of characters. his like damage engine potential is insane. Damage engines are always going to be important in Grid, I think. Just the ability to have a character you can easily tag in to get the kill if you've got like a slightly weird starter. Because sometimes you do get those weird starters and you need damage engine to sort it out. It's why you want to be baiting assists, try and use up assists so they can't get that conversion. Yeah, Eric is like one of the best, and has always been one of the best damage engines in Grid. It's another reason that Scorpina is an A tier as well, as that Scorpina's like damage engine potential is kind of crazy with Poison. But yeah, I think Eric edges way over Scorpina because he's got a real zoning game though. But yeah, Eric is great. Next, Draken. Draken's like a character that kind of goes up and down, I find, a little bit. I think he's like potentially A tier, like bottom of A tier. Or something, but Draken's alright. It's like either like, I think if you're using blues above like really average characters with like not a lot of things, I'd probably put like, I think blue is the benchmark before A tier, I think, and I think Draken is better than blue, so I'm going to put him on the bottom of A tier at the moment. So he's got neutral skips, he's got some resets, but I think it's just mostly. Yeah, and with assist you can do quite a few fun things with that neutral skip. Like it's not as punishable as Dies is, so that's always going to make a character strong. It's always going to make a character really good, I think. And his assist is really valuable in a lot of ways. Like you see Isaac uses assist really well. So he challenges things that don't always like get challenged in Grid. So I'd probably say he's pretty good. Yeah, put him bottom of A tier. I think he's at the bottom of A tier though, in general. I don't think he's like the bottom of A tier and the top of A tier is going to be like a slightly like weighted thing. There's going to be some very big differences, but I want to use blue. I want to be using blue as like the benchmark for like the before we get into A tier. So yeah, I think he's around about there. And Poisandra. Now Poisandra is a character that I think like. A lot of people, like when they started, when Poisandra was first released, like, oh, I mean, she's not Adam, so she's not like that crazy, right? And people were like, oh yeah, she's about 80, she's a good character, she's got damage. But I think people are starting to come around on Poisandra, and I would happily put her in S tier. I don't think she's like necessarily like up there with the top 3 quite. I think she's very close. But Poisandra is just pure chaos in a character. Ridiculous chaos in a character. I think she causes chaos on the screen, right? And she picks up from it ridiculously well. Like 5M is a crazy button to pick up, so air buttons are ridiculous. She's like the queen of the air. But like the character as well, what can you say? Yeah, I'm not sure she breaks top 3 for me, really. Valkyrian might change my mind on that. And yeah, obviously like a bunch of people are picking it up and like really making it like kind of wild. Boombot obviously plays it very well, and I think Cole has Poisandra as well, so we'll see like when next event Cole enters what he does with Boise. But she's definitely up there. I think like she might enter the top 3 in my opinion, in my estimations at one point. But she's definitely like a character that's only been getting better, like as people like learn her and understand how to navigate her chaos. Like I think she's one of his characters that right now just does like gets away with stuff that she shouldn't. Like crazy in scramble situations. I'd happily put her there. But yeah, Poisey is crazy. If you want to see some more, check out Valkyrian and Lost. And this was this week's Ranger Rumble. That was pretty wild. Check out like all sorts of like, just check out the character. She's kind of, yeah. Actually, that's true. Sledge is actually one of the best characters in the game. Sledge as like a core is really good because he just eats up so much and puts so much on. Like having Goldar assist as a move, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of wild. Potentially just play 2 Goldars. So yeah, I think she's the character that's like just gotten better and better and better as time goes on. It's kind of crazy. People like playing against her and just learning how to fight. Yeah, and she has a sentry system on her as well. It's wild. All right, we've got Cat. Again, so Cat is an interesting character here. So I'm not 100% sure where we place Cat, if it's in B tier or A tier. So the argument for Cat being an A tier is that she's got damage, right? And she's got the assist. The assist is really wild. The assist is really good. And she gets damage. She can work decently as a damage engine. So Cat has like a lot of great strengths to her. But her neutral is kind of rough, if I'm being honest. Her neutral is kind of rough. So right now her neutral, like, it's very footsies heavy. You kind of like it's strike throw essentially, and she gets a kill, she gets a throw, but she has to kind of approach, which she doesn't do hugely well. The assist can be jabbed, but like the opponent can bait that and practice it. And yeah, she has some like really heavy losing matchups, particularly my boy. But yeah, so I put her like in high B. Like it's weird. Like I think blue is possibly better. Like she has slightly better damage than blue and a better assist. But blue's got a good assist. Blue's got damage if he's in the, like if he can get to the corner. And he's also got like the neutral skip, which I think I value quite a lot in terms of in a team game. So I'd probably put blue above Cat personally. Yeah, that's roughly where I'd place her. For now, at least. But Cat is a good character. Like she's if you're doing like a slightly less linear tier list, like a support value is pretty nuts, just because the assist does a lot. But she can feel up and down. I've got another C tier here in Trey. I think like Ranger Slayer is like better than Trey or Die, because Ranger Slayer just has like some value in zoning. But Trey is another sad character. I think he's better than Die, but not by much. Again, he's like the original, like basically the original damage engine in Grid, and he's kind of fallen off a lot since. He's got an okay assist. It's not great. Like it's great. You can use it to chump block a few projectiles and like gain a bit of Zord meter, and sometimes go in and hit with a low or grab on tagging. But yeah, he's not a fantastic character. He's got a projectile unlaunchable JS, which kind of works sometimes, I guess. And he can kind of skip neutral a little bit that way, but he's very linear. His buttons are really bad up close, like ridiculously bad. He has to like do very specific strings, so not as to knock flat out, die to push block. And his damage like is alright. Like his damage is like good. Like you get kills with it. But there are a few optimal things you need to do with it, which can sometimes be a bit depressing. But he's okay at doing damage, and as a damage engine, he's alright. But again, like if you want to do damage, pick a character who can do something else apart from damage. Trey's neutral is like just very, very depressing to play because he doesn't do a lot. He kind of zooms in and hopes you don't stuff him. And just another character just doesn't do like a vital aspect of the game, which is play neutral. It does actually matter a lot. So yeah, Trey like very close to bottom tier there for me. I used to value Die over Trey, but Die is just very sad for me at the moment. I'm very depressed on Die. Magna's a weird one. Not a huge amount of people have played Magna recently that I've seen. Not a huge amount of people have played Magna recently. But I think he's still an alright character. Like he does damage. He's got a really easy blink for net. His support value at the moment is just a little bit whack. Like his assist is really bad. His assist doesn't do a lot, which is a shame. Because it would be really nice otherwise. But he doesn't have like a huge amount that's like crazy. Like he's got armor on some of the stuff which can work pretty decently as tag out stuff. Again, he's got good damage. But I think like the way he's assisted right now, just his like actual team value goes down for me a decent bit. Like again, I think he does good damage. He's got an overhead so he can unblock. So he's got good things to him. But I think probably high B tier. Possibly better than Blue. I don't know. I feel like Magna can kind of snowball if you let him. But right now,
families we already protect with Aviva life insurance.
Aviva ads. Apologies. But yeah, the way Magna is now, just a little bit odd. I think. But yeah, he's fairly mid. Another character is fairly mid, Udonna, I think. Right at the bottom of V tier. I don't like Udonna is weird, right? Udonna is a character that like has a couple of like really strong tools. I say couple, I say two. She's got two really strong tools. Her strong tools are JH and EX. That's about what Udonna's got going for her, in my opinion. So, like, and when Udonna gets her game plan working, pretty cool, right? The EX sets up an instant 50-50 that, and maybe with more layers that you have to deal with an incoming if you kill with it. Her JH is a really good overhead, just a really strong move in general, right? And she's got a couple of fun things she can do, but it's really over-centralized in getting the JH hit, because that's one of her only good buttons. Most of her buttons aren't very good at all. JS is kind of like a trap for zoning. It's not a very good zoning tool overall. And assist is kind of just okay. Like, you sometimes get a freeze and get some like cheeky hits. But she feels a character that's really over-centralized on a couple of gimmicks. And unless she really gets those, I don't think she gets a lot going. Obviously, the youth does well with her. Like, the youth does a lot. I'll be used to getting like some good stuff with her, but I feel like she's a character that just doesn't do very much and doesn't do very well, if that makes sense. She's a bit of a weird one for me. I don't like when she gets a game plan going, it's really crazy, but she needs a lot of work to get that happening, and I'm not sure she like makes up for it in other aspects. Like, I don't think her team value is necessarily all that high. It's a decent extension assist, but she's like okay, but she's very, very mid, I think. Alright, RJ. RJ's another like decent character. I think he's like better than Draken on paper, but again, relatively low at the moment. Like, he's got unblockables, he's got a lot of like strong tools. But he gets outclassed by a couple of characters, I think. So the tools he has do make him a very good character. Like, he's got good neutral buttons, as Rocket just said. He's got he's got the ability to ignore projectiles. Sorry, SDK, that's a good thing. Ignition Knuckle Assist is crazy, even if it means giving up the cancels. In my opinion, at least. Like, just in terms of like deciding in matchups, that can be really good. I think we often see Rocket counterpicking RJ against Blue to try and get that Ignition Knuckle Assist live, just because against certain setups, it's very powerful. Yeah, but I think he's a solid AT. He's got unblockables. Got a really ignorant EX. But he's just generally like an alright character at the moment. He doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but he has to reset, and that when you're doing that against like, you're kind of like matched up against the other low damage characters. And the other good low damage characters are Lauren and Jen. And Lauren mix-ups are really scary, but RJ's aren't that much. I think that's the kind of thing about RJ right now, is he doesn't have a huge amount of like crazy mix-ups. Lauren has a bunch, Jen obviously has a ton, but RJ is kind of like middling at this point. The proposed changes from next patch, well, that might be different. But right now his mix is kind of lacking. That's kind of what holds him back a lot, I think. That and the fact that his damage is low, so he needs to reset. I feel like if you're a character who needs to reset, then you need to get some sort of mix. Speaking of mix, let's talk about Jason. Jason's another kind of weird character. Currently, he just, again, doesn't necessarily work that well in the game. He's a great learner character. He's got like a lot of like basic stuff, but he's got like a lot of weird stuff as well. So his stuff is just a little bit weird. So again, he's low damage. He's a low damage character like RJ, but he's got arguably worse mix. He doesn't have an overhead. he doesn't have like much. He has like strike, throw, and that's it. And currently he doesn't get anything from throw because he can't convert or throw solo, unlike a lot of the cast. So he's got limited nicks, and the nicks that he does get is bad. A lot of the time, if the opponent doesn't have an assist up, you just take the throw, and that's fine. Jason doesn't get anything after the throw, and you just go back to neutral, and you're fine. So Jason doesn't really get any reward for playing the game correctly. He doesn't get reward for like getting up in the opponent's face. It's a similar issue, actually. Trey has a very similar issue in that he gets up in the opponent's face because he's got bad neutral, and then he doesn't get rewarded for it. He just like straight does nothing because his moves are terrible up close, and it's similar with Jason. He's possibly like slightly better than Trey up close because he's got like a really mashable 2L. It's like 3 frames, it's really fast. It's pretty safe. But apart from that, it's not fantastic. Like he can like hit you low or he can throw you. Nah. What are you gonna do? Again, he's getting like buffs next patch, so he's gonna get like a bunch of damage, which is cool. Now I'm looking forward to seeing like where he'll be placed after then. But we'll see. Currently, we'll see. His zoning is pretty decent. Like his gun has a lot of durability on it, so he's got like some decent neutral options, but he just doesn't get rewarded for playing it. His damage is really sad. He has to do gun loops to get damage. And he just doesn't like have a lot of value. It's just pretty decent. It's fast. You can get some good cross-ups off it. That's some other values to playing the character, but I'd put him like solidly low tier, really. But yeah, moving from a character who's got a lot of basic tools, we're going to get to Ryu. And this is kind of like Jason if he was like kind of cracked and crazy. Ryu is like, I think, a very, very solid A tier. I put him above Rita personally, so I'd probably put him around about here. He's just a great support value character. Like, he's obviously got, like, we've seen, like, Blue do the crazy, crazy damage for Ryu. He gets kills off basically any hit. He's got the crazy stuff. He's got the crazy damage and what have you. But then we've also got, like, a bunch of, like, other things as well. Like, his mix is really good. Like, he's got overheads, so you can get, like, on blocks off reset and what have you. He can do like Tatsu to cross you up in like funny ways and then do things. What else have we got with Ryu? I mean, his assist is fantastic value as well. His double fireball assist does a lot. Like, it just is a really powerful like assist at range to like, or even close up if you're in a advantage, just to kind of keep the opponent under pressure with like a multi-hitting thing. This is, I really value him for his assist. I think his support value in general is pretty good. He moves really quickly, so he can get pickups of like an OTG from very quickly. Yeah, it's he does a lot, I think, and I think he's just like a really like solidly good character. He doesn't do like anything that I would say is like unfair. Like he's not an unfair character, I don't think, but he's just like his assist is probably the closest thing he gets to being unfair, I'd say, and the fact that he gets really easy SPD setups, but. He's just a solid, strong character. And I think that's fine. I think that's good for... I think that's really, really good for Ryu. He's just, like, good. Genuinely quite good. And that's fine. That's fine for Ryu. I think that's good placing. He's not cracked like Chun-Li, but he comes out and he's just... Somebody asks you, should I put Ryu in my team? And you're like, yeah, put Ryu in your team. He's a good character. He's a great assist. Like, he's always going to be, like, a good option, I think. So there's never like, you're never going to say, oh, it's a bad decision to pick Ryu. It's just, yeah, let's go. Pick Ryu. Good character, good choice. So yeah, very strongly like solid. And obviously he's got great zoning as well. He does like a slightly, like that is probably for one issue. He's got slightly stubby like normals and you have to like know what you're doing. So pickups can be like a little bit sad of Ryu at times. But he's still alright. I think he's fine. I think he's basically okay. Gia. I'm gonna put Gia in S tier. Like, Gia's another character that is just strong. I think she's like bottom of S tier, like maybe. I don't think she's like as crazy as like Poisey or Adam. But Gia is just like always good. She controls neutral so well. Her neutral game is ridiculous. Like, and ridiculously easy combos into resets, ridiculous like neutral like control. The unblocks you can set up, like the value of Gia. Again, Gia's another character, but just like adds value to a team by being on it. Like if you know how to play Gia and just put her on a team, like she's just crazy. Like she's like been on SDK's team for ages for a reason. Evasion's taken her up and has been doing some stuff with her. Like I think just a really, really strong character in general. Yeah, and the fact she just does long running things you can tag out of as well and just continue pressure of. It's just good. It's good value, and Gia's just like a good value character that just like navigates situations incredibly well. She's not incredibly complex, but she like challenges a lot of things that other characters don't challenge. The round start is also insane. Like the options she has. She's just like, yeah, she has everything she needs to. She has the unblocks. In a world without unblockables, Gia would be like bottom of A tier maybe, but the fact, well, maybe even not that. She's got great resets. I'm kind of capping, but like she gets so much out of the unblockable mechanic in the game. She does it so well. But yeah, Gia's just like a strong character, I think. Like the range is great, the overhead's fantastic, and the lows are fantastic as well. They set up a ton as well. The fact you've got delayed lows and delayed overheads, it does a lot. It does a lot for the game, and if you see a Gia player doing it right, you see them doing it right, and Gia just does a lot. So yeah, Gia's S tier in my opinion. My boy Zed, love this character. Easily like one of my favorite characters in the game. Zed is so fun. Zed is like solidly A tier. Zed sucks, guys. He needs buffs, I swear. Zed's in D tier. I swear, he needs buffs. Shady, please. Come on, Shady, please. Buff Zed. Give him an air teleport. Nah. Zed is just a solid character. I think I'd put him like mid A tier. Like he's definitely like up there. I think if I like include like an A+ tier, he'd be in there. Like Zed damage is great. It's a bit screen dependent. His support value is great. His tag out value is insane. 5S tag out is great. Fantastic, essentially. Yeah, it's really good. So his damage is great. His support value, just in terms of tag out, is great. His round start, like the fact that he's one of those characters who the fact that he is a normal that can reach your opponent quickly on round start dictates how the round start goes. Essentially, the fact that Zed can 5H on round start means the opponent has to plan around that, and that gives Zed a lot of options just to play aggressively on round start. He doesn't have to 5H. You can just jump in. You can just start putting in pressure with assists. But he essentially forces your opponent into options, essentially. Hold up, you're right, Stuka. Give me a sec. Cool. Okay, so we're talking about Zed. Alright, so Zed is just like, yeah, he's just solid. I think his movement is what holds him down, and maybe his assist. His assist is a little bit situational depending on where you are. Like, it can be a little bit weird. I think his assist is still really good personally. I think it sets up a bunch of things as a Zed player. But I think he's just got a lot going for him. If he gets a hit, he kills more often than not. He's got great resets. He's got pretty good mix, depending on who he's playing against. Yeah. He gets blown out by a couple of characters. Gets blown out by a few characters, what have you. But no, Zed's decent, basically. He's just a strong character. He's got great value on round start. He's got great value as tag out. And just if Zed is on his own and he gets like the momentum going, he's a great momentum character for comebacks as well. Yeah, that's roughly where I put him. Yeah, I think solidly there. Don't think he needs a lot of changes. Like, the only change I want for Zed, like okay, I've got 2 changes I want for Zed, right? I want his root ender to be a bit more like normalized. I want it to work consistently across body types. I think you can do Zender on every character, like on every character, but it's just a bit of a hassle to switch up to like learn the timing for it. The other thing I don't want his I want his putty to default to just like nothing when it's out on a cooldown rather to 5S, but that's a me thing because I'm an idiot and I keep on pressing trying to input putty too quickly after I've already used it, and then I just get 5S and I get blown up. Have you seen me do like a bad 5S in tournament? That's the reason why. It's because I'm an idiot and I forget my own character's mechanics after a while. Yeah, it's bad. It's like what happens to Poisey, but a bit worse because you get a move that's way longer. All right, so okay, Tommy again. He's like B tier. He's okay. Like, I think he's like very mid right now. His damage isn't great. He's got an unblockable, which is cool. That's always nice. And is this decent? So you can play Tommy. He'll do some good things. But like, he's not like, doesn't do a huge amount for me at the very least. Yeah, he's just very solidly a mid character. Like, an unblockable, which is nice. Yeah, but he's kind of like, he does like, a few people have said like, he's like, Ryu does everything Tommy wants and better, and I kind of agree with that. Ryu zones better than Tommy. The unblocks as well as Tommy, and Tommy just doesn't do doesn't do a huge amount for me. Like, people play him because he's Tommy, but he definitely needed some buffs. Hopefully things like will work on that, but he's like very solid. Like, he's an okay character. You can pick him if you like, but there are very clearly better options. He's not like in the place where he's like actively struggling against the game, which is where I think C tier and below is, where characters like actively struggle against what the game wants them to do. But I'd say he's solidly there. And finally, we have Dog. Dog, the lowest of low mids. Yeah, I'm not really sure where we put like I'm not entirely sure on Dog. Like, obviously you've got low mid for me. Like, he's low mid, he needs buffs, and he does. Like, I think he doesn't like his neutral is kind of weird. Playing him optimally is a pain because it's like a lot of actions per minute. But I think like he's decent as a damage engine. His assist is probably there. Yeah, there it is. That's where I think Dog shines. His assist is really good. I might put him like very bottom of A tier. I think he's worse for Draken because I think Draken just navigates screen better than him because of his neutral skip, and I think Dog doesn't have a huge amount of that. But like Dog, I think I'll probably leave like top of B tier. I think mid is fine for Dog. He's like okay. He does like damage and that, but yeah, he's like generally okay personally. Like, he does like decent damage. He's got a good assist, so he pairs pretty well in like teams and what have you. But like, I think he's like about as good as Magna, maybe. His actual neutral is not like the best, so he has to kind of tag out and go back into assist. So yeah, I would probably solidly say that's where I put Dog, and that's probably where I put the cast in general. Looking back on it, I think that's about right. I think that's about where I rank characters. Like, yeah, I think that's about right. That's about where I'm happy with things. So yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope you're all ready to mull over my opinions on the Discord, what have you. But I thought I'd get one of these out there, and we'll see you with more memeing videos at some point. Keep an eye out. I've got a team talk with Evasion coming out very soon. New team talk, new year, new team talk. That's gonna be a lot of fun. We're talking a lot about Rita, a lot about Evasion's like general squad and his thoughts on the game. A bit about his Frosty's run. that'll be good fun. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be coming out very soon. But yeah, in the meantime, take care, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thought I'd just do a short stream, like chilling, joking about like tier lists and what have you. But yeah, make your own tier list. Let's get the Panda Global train eyes onto the community. Let's get that Panda Global type tier list videos everywhere. I want to see it. JJ, make a tier list. Make a video. Boombot, make a tier list. Bardo, make a tier list. Rocket, I want to see you make a tier list. I want to see it, guys. Let's get that Panda Global money. Let's get that like Panda Global eyes on Alpha Grid. All right, but yeah, peace out, guys. It was fun, and we will see you at some point. Actually, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. If you're like checking in, I'm not entirely sure we're going to get the stream up for it, but we're going to have a small Alpha Grid local in London. Excited for that. We're going to have a few of the guys there. Grim's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Dark's going to be there. Krim is maybe going to be there, depending if the trains work or not. We'll see. The trains may have been destroyed. Who knows? But yeah. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we will see you next time.